Hustle all year, ain't no day off. 25/8, ain't no day off. Hustle all year, ain't no day off. 25/8, ain't no day off.
Low G o la barrieta, puro raps con la pinche neta. Shit on my name, pero me di cuenta.
AKM Publishing, The Plug Magazine. Low G, we have a special guest, world famous Compound Films.
Yes, sir. Compound Films. We are in the building right now. We are in the Skyline District of downtown Houston. And why is that important? It's important because that's where all the professional businessmen go.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If you're in Rome, this is the middle of the city. This is where it goes down at.
Coliseum.
And so as a business owner, we're like gladiators out here fighting to make our way. And every day we're fighting tigers and we're winning. And so that's why we belong in downtown Houston. And that's why we're 720 Rusk Street. And if you're looking to create your new podcast, your new TV show, your new live stream, music video, the whole nine, the reason it's cool to be here is because we're right across from the underground tunnel system. You go across the street, you go down, and you're able to go and visit all these buildings under the ground. So if it's raining, you're able to, not get wet, like these broads.
Yeah.
And so, and they got food in there. You got boutique shops under there where you can go shopping. You could blow a bag down there. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't talking about like the paisas, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, you could drop cash in there and you could buy stuff. And there's parking garages. I mean, this is it. I mean, there's history here. So
right.
You're welcome here. Obviously, you've seen some big artists come through here, interview, big, podcasts like this one. You see the logo. So if you want to be next, then you need to come through and get under them lights like Floyd Mayweather.
It's definitely real easy when you sit down and work with professionals, man. People want to be amongst people that know what they're doing and being a part of it, man. How long have you been doing this type of work?
Well, I'll say this. I'll say the latest thing that we're working on and something that I would like to get out there is that Flatline Documentary. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get Flatline. He's a rapper from Corpus Christi, well known. He's like the Slim Thug of Corpus Christi, but he looks like us, right?
Damn right.
And so what ended up happening was, we don't really know the details, but he ended up being unjustly murdered. He was out there fishing, relaxing his mind, as people that fish do. That's why they do it. Yeah. And he was out there fishing, and apparently, this guy here that he's known for a long time, apparently, I don't know what happened, but he ended up pulling out a gun and shooting him right there in the, at the pier where people go fishing. And so we're trying to figure out what happened. Why was this boy able to walk free? The word was that he was related to the judge in some way or another. And then...
so that was my question. They found this person who killed. They closed the case on the murder. It's not like he's missing or we don't know who did it. But he was incarcerated and released.
Correct. Yeah. So bottom line is he brought a gun, obviously, because he was shot multiple times. And he ended up dying because of gunshot wounds. And so the number one thing is like, okay, so you don't find the gun, you don't know where the gun is at, but you're letting Buddy walk the fuck free. Sorry for cursing. And then to turn around and to find out that his legal team, his attorneys, got someone to say, oh yeah, I'm a witness and yeah, it was self-defense. It's like, what the hell? Like, that's not correct. Again, where is the gun? You know what I'm saying? If it's self-defense, you can't bring a gun, start shit, shoot somebody, and then say self-defense. You can't do that. And on top of that, especially if you're on drugs, let's say if you had a license or whatever to carry whatever. Right. If you're on drugs, if you're under the influence, self-defense is out the window. Right. So it's already two. And so the thing is, like, how you going to just let Buddy walk free? And the district attorney's office said that they were going to, reopen the case, that they're going to just dismiss it because, they want a better bite at the apple, he said, or something. Basically, they were making it seem like they wanted to get their shit together to figure out how to put this boy away. They said, we're going to let it go, but we're going to reopen the case. 5 years done passed, here we are.
Is the emphasis of your documentary more about the justice for Flatline or his legacy as a rapper?
Well, it's both because, like I told his wife, it's like, Flatline was not a victim. When you Google Flatline, what comes up, that's not Flatline. When they say, well, he was a victim and he was fishing and he was murdered by this, by this boy over here, like that's not his story. You know what I'm saying? So what I want to do is explain his story of who he was, how big of a star he was, the impact he had, like how people viewed him, his story, where he started from. Before he got murdered, I was on a phone call with him. I was getting off a plane. Actually, when I found out he was murdered, I was getting off a plane in Puerto Rico, and it was all over the news. And just a couple of days before, he had called me and he said, hey, I got this new song with Kevin Gates and Zero. It's about to be my big breakout hit. I already have it recorded. He said, so all I need you to do is bring the big cameras over here. We're going to shoot this music video. We're going to put it everywhere. And now I'm like, we both did it. We're here. I shot a lot of music videos for him. Great. He's giving me my big opportunity. Finally, I'm going to be able to show the world what I can do and show the world what he's about and his talent. And I can work with Kevin Gates and boom, we're going to take it to the next level. Boom. Time passes. Hey, you heard what happened with Flatline? You heard what happened to him? I'm talking about my phone was blowing the fuck up when I got off the plane. It was doo-doo-doo, 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 doo-doo-doo. People calling, missed calls because I was on the plane. And I found out that he was murdered. And I was like, that's some bull.
Such a loss in not only the rap game, but I think on planet Earth, because he was such a good individual, had a very large reputation, almost like an aura about him as a rapper. I'm familiar because growing up, I saw it firsthand. So it was such a loss, man. Rest in peace, Flatline. We want everybody to check out this documentary. We want everybody to show support. There's a GoFund. We're going to include it on here so that way they can hit the link and reach out.
For sure. And I guess to conclude everything of where we're going with this, or what's the point or what's the plan? The plan is to put together a documentary, an investigative documentary, like a real deal, true crime type documentary where we go and investigate, where we go and we got investigators coming with us. We're recreating the crime scene. We're looking for clues. We're putting underwater drones in the water looking for the murder weapon, the gun. We're talking to witnesses that were there. We're gathering stories and figure out what's what, where this boy is at, and breaking down what happened with this judge that ended up going to jail because he did some crooked shit. He was out there fighting other judges. He was out there pulling weapons on people in traffic. He was out there, like that boy Donald Trump said, he was out there in the courthouse grabbing women by the pussy, and that's what he was doing, and he ended up getting locked up for it. And like I said, the district attorney's office, they dropped the case. We never heard back from these people. You know what I'm saying? And so we're gonna go out there and get in their face like Acme, and we're gonna ask for answers. You know what I'm saying? Like Google, and so we're gonna be out there, putting it on billboards. Spreading the message, letting them know, hey, we want justice. We're not about to lay down and let these boys do this to us. Plus, he's part of history. And if I truly mean what I say about trying to move the game forward, trying to change the game, or trying to shine spotlight on what we're trying to do, then we got to stand up for people that look like us. Because if they feel they can do whatever to us and get away with it, guess what's gonna happen? They're going to do shit to us and get away with it. And so I want to give them boys a rude awakening, you know what I'm saying? And so that's the plan. We want to do a GoFundMe to fund that. We're raising money to, like I said, do this thing correct. Sit down with the family, get interviews, get the 911 calls, like get everything. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're going to do it for these people on TV, well, we're going to do what they're doing on TV, but for Flatline. And, someone that looks like you is producing it. And so if we're going to, protect our own, represent our own, push our own forward, then, we got to create the companies that create the content because, from where I'm standing, who else is going to do a documentary on Flatline?
Right.
If I don't do it, then who will? Right. And another thing is they said, that case is already pretty much done with. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Even the family was like, we were defeated. that was it. What can we do? We don't have the budget to fight this thing. We're just trying to make it. And you know, and everybody knows is if we don't do this right now, it's over with.
So what I saw is that it had the word conspiracy in there. Do you think that is a big conspiracy behind his murder or behind the cover-up of it? Which
Everything.
Both?
Everything. I mean, I'm still getting messages right now. People saying, hey, you know, I heard, you know, that his murderer was out there buying 10 Xanax bars and he was telling people he was going to murder him and people weren't taking him serious and da-da-da. And apparently he owed some debt and da-da-da.
You're talking about the
murder.
assaultant.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the murder.
Gotcha.
And you know, that he was letting it be known and, you know, that he was a hater, that he was just mad at Flatline and all this. And so, like I said, you know, they have family ties to that judge that was doing that case and that it got dismissed. You know, the family got some money, you know what I'm saying? And so there's word that when Buddy got dismissed, he took off to Pennsylvania.
Gotcha.
And so with this documentary, we gonna go to Pennsylvania and we gonna knock on some doors.
Right.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. and Miss Taylor? Well, we're here to talk to you about your son, you know, about what he did in Corpus Christi. You know, this is Compound Films and we need some answers. This is gonna be on the news, Miss and Mr. Taylor. You know what I mean? That's what we gonna do.
I'm sure that our readers are familiar with the case a little bit because from what, there was a song back in the day, I think called the Kite. Are you familiar with that? It was a song about Flatline's murder going out to people, advising them about the gentleman you just mentioned, Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, so I mean, and like I said, there is nothing like that right now. At the same time, even the people on TV, I mean, there are people on TV, but I'm just saying for people like us,
right?
For this rap game,
H-time.
For this entertainment thing, Texas,
yeah,
Friends, you know, in the hood,
right?
Like, I mean, Flatline, he wasn't a national name.
No, not yet.
But to us, he was somebody in this thing that we're part of.
A leader.
We're in this ecosystem. You're creating a podcast in this game.
Correct.
And so, you know, who's out there really, even the cases on TV, who's really out there knocking on doors? Yo, hey, what's going on with this? Well, yeah, y'all too comfortable, man.
Right.
You know, shit. You know what I mean? Yo,
right.
The district attorney came out there asking people questions like, hey, what's going on with this? And so we want to be the example. We want justice. You know, we ain't gonna lay down. What the fuck? This is Texas.
I think that's dope. It's commendable, and somebody that's doing it. And I'm glad that it's you because sounds like you knew him personally. So it must be very rewarding to work on a project that means so much to you personally. For sure. I mean, he opened the doors for me. You know, when people would see his videos, they'd be like, "Oh, Compound Films. I know Compound Films." You know what I'm saying? Like he, and like I said, anywhere I went, they're like, "Oh yeah, he's with Flatline. Shh, ain't nobody gonna mess with him. Like he could be out there filming and pitch dark in the wrong neighborhood." But they're like, "Well, shit, that's Compound Films," and I would have never been treated like that in that city if it wasn't for Flatline, because Flatline was like, "This is my guy. This is the guy. Like this is the guy." Even though he's from Houston, this is the guy. Right. So it's like, damn, he could have, you know, worked with a guy from Corpus Christi, but he worked with me, helped me build my name. I helped him build his. He already had a name, right. But nationally, I was able to get his name out there. Obviously, as you can see now, it's still paying dividends. And I'm the type of person, hopefully that's an example, is that, you know, he's a clientele, cool, but, you know, we were friends. And like I said, I'm standing up for him. Yeah. He gave me an opportunity. I'm always forever be grateful. And that's why even after he's dead, I want justice for him. Right. You know, and he's not dead. He's living on forever through these projects. Yeah, he's immortalized through us. Yeah, and even with Chingo Bling, like, you know, when he went political on the thing, a lot of people backed up, "Oh, you're a da-da-da-da-da-da." Right. Without Chingo Bling, there would be no Compound Films. Because he was the one that told me, "Hey, man," because at that time, there weren't a lot of videographers like there are now. He told me, "Man, you better take that football and run with it. You don't have a lot of competition. I'm on right now. You know, you're cranking out videos." Shout out to the OG. I didn't want to be no cameraman. I said, "Who the fuck wants to be a cameraman?"
Like, cause that's what they call you. They're like,
Right.
"Right, you want to be a cameraman?" It's like,
Right.
"A cameraman."
That's the lingo.
Like, I ain't about to be following you around. Who the fuck? I got shit to do. I'm checking this money. I mean,
Yeah,
put the cameras on me.
Yeah, shout
But-
out to the OG.
But he told me to run with it, and sure enough, like I said, Flatline was one of my earlier clients, and so like I said, I come from Greens Point, north side of Houston. If you know about that,
Guns Point.
shit, you know what I'm saying? For someone to be like, here's an opportunity, shit, I took it. Like I said, I didn't even think I was going to be able to ever meet a Chingo Bling. I never thought I'd meet a Flatline. I never thought I'd even leave Houston. I never thought I'd leave my neighborhood. In school, I never used to pay attention in history school. I'm in a history class. I never used to pay attention in calculus. None of that shit. It'd be like, what the fuck I need that for? I'm gonna be in the hood. What the fuck?
Right.
Like, what the fuck I'm gonna look like doing calculus? Like, I'm never gonna see nothing. I'm never gonna leave this. I'm never gonna leave the city. Never leave the state. Never gonna leave the country. Sure enough, I've been around the world. You said many times. I've been over 4 countries internationally, over 22 domestic cities. I've been booked all over the world. And when I name that, these are real cities that I've been to. Atlanta, I've been to Anchorage, Alaska. I've been to Washington. I've been to, I can keep going on and on. New Mexico, I'm just start naming the states. Texas.
That boy been around. He's been handling business like a professional. Man, it's definitely great to sit down with people who are professional like yourself. I appreciate the opportunity. You sitting down with the AKM Publishing on behalf of the Plug Magazine. It's your boy Log G. Please, everybody, support my boy here, Compound Films, with what he's doing that's close to heart. I got his back, and everybody else who's real will too. Only the real can see us. We are immortalized through you. And rest in peace, Flatline. Shout out to everybody we forgot about.
For sure. Can I say one last thing?
Go ahead, bro.
Cool. The reason this studio is so special, and the reason this view and the reason this location, this studio is so important, is because 5 years ago, if you told me that we'd be sitting in a studio where we're doing all this cool ass shit, if you would have told me that, like, I probably wouldn't even believed you. I'm saying, I probably would have, but like, who would have guessed? Like, I'm sitting here, and so that just goes to show, like, it took them to 13 years to build the brand, but hey, if you start somewhere, you could have had this shit too. You know what I'm saying? Like, your dream can become a something, and that something can help other people, just like we're doing here today. And that's why I'm so proud of it, because I'm able to help other people. That's what I always wanted to do. That was my dream, to help other business owners and other people create their own brands. And so right now I'm living my dream. And so I say that to say, you start somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, dreams do come true. Keep staying at it. It's not about how you feel. It's about getting the ball down the field. You know what I'm saying? And so stay on it. The rewards gonna come. Challenges are supposed to be there, because, the world, the universe is gonna test how bad you want this shit. And the decisions you're gonna have to make might hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because that might mean sacrificing relationships, friendships, family time, free time, or whatever, relax time, whatever. But in the end, it's gonna be worth it. You know what I'm saying? And so, here we are, Compound Films, 720 Rusk Street, by compoundfilms.com. Book us on Peerspace. Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. Thank you. Welcome back. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate you sitting down with the AKM Publishing on behalf of the Plug Magazine. We got Compound Films.
Bang.
Bang.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Hustle all year, ain't no day off. 25-8, ain't no day off. Hustle all year, ain't